Hey, it's Ariel Anderson, and I am just getting going here because I'm so happy to be able to thank you right now for this incredible time together. I'm starting here on Zoom too, just in
Recording
case.
in progress.
There we go. So we can just jump in and I will get myself going. There we go. So we're here. I can't believe it. So I didn't know it was going to coincide with New Year's. If you were here last night on the review for my review retreat for my evening people that like to meet on the first Thursday of every month at 5 o'clock Pacific, then it was a different flavor. I purposely had it dark and sort of light as this sort of guiding purpose or this reminder kind of in the background. I did it on purpose. It looks weird for YouTube. And then today is more about light and beginning and starting and restarting. And it was done with deep consciousness because I think one of those things that, oh, hey, Angela, it's good to see you over there. Hey. uh, that it's so important to accept both our darkness and light. Oh, I just realized. Yeah, well, that's okay. And I think there's so often we get caught up in our, finding the light and being in the light and, in both prayer, meditation, whatever it is that is your guiding piece. And it's also important to remember that there are dark sides to each of us. And that honoring that when it comes up, that need to go into that dark space. It's now winter, at least in the northern hemisphere. And hi Angela, good to see you in Zoom. And so today, last night we kind of went internal into the inner dark spaces, not so much dark, but the inner spaces uh, of being and on this path and looking within. And today I just wanted to start with looking at how, wherever you are in the world, whether it's night or day, just looking at how we begin each day. How do you begin each day? And so I would be curious how that looks. And I'm gonna mute YouTube for just a second. And Angela, would you? Well, that would be really weird here. Let's see if I can do this. So, Angela, is there anything that you want to describe for us as far as your how do you start your days? How do you start your days as far as uh, reflecting on where your feeling starts and all of that? I'm going to mute you, but I'm going to ask you and then talk about it. I mean, mute myself, sorry.
Oh, yeah, because we just recently are recovering, it was a bad bout. Recently got the COVID, and so my days have just been a bit upside down. Get up in the morning, I used to have a really good morning schedule, but I'll get up and pray, and then I'll fix breakfast. But that all has just turned upside down because I can't get up early enough. And when I wake up, I can't. It takes me about 30 minutes to get out of the bed. So my mornings haven't been the same for about 6 weeks or so.
Hmm.
So I just have to get back to that with a prayer first thing in the morning. And then after I cook, I do a scripture reading and a little bit more prayer. Then I can go about what I need to do for the day. So I don't have, anything. I would say I wouldn't have anything magnificent right now.
That's okay.
But I want to get back into it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll share a little bit.
I'm looking forward to good things this year.
Yes. So Angela was just talking about, having having some hiccups. Is it okay to say what happened? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
she and her family got COVID, and it's been quite a process as we've been in communication. And yet, I still see the shining light in your eyes, and so I know that you mentioned your morning, things are off. They're not as usual, and you're bringing prayer in. And some of us use meditation. I do meditation a little bit in the morning, sometimes more, but life happens. But I mean, I think that's part of it too, is this we have this expectation or hope, right, of how things can roll. And then life keeps happening. You think, okay, now you're on top of it, right? Now then the next roll of something comes in and you think, okay, now I've got this managed. And the next thing, I think that is definitely part of the process of sort of keeping the light in your eyes and your heart, is that instead of us expecting that the things will stop, right? It just doesn't. But it's how you manage it. It's how I manage it in my heart. It's how you respond to it, which I can see even with the struggle. There's still this shine about you, because I know that you've shifted a lot in the last period. And that's the biggest piece, I think, inside of this, because there are so many obstacles or things that come up that can really tear you down if you don't have a firm foundation. And that's why, whether it's a morning ritual, I have little things, and I talked about this in the exhale. I know that you were there for that. And I do a ritual. Even I did it, I realized I hadn't done it because I was kind of thinking about a lot of things for today. I realized, oh, I haven't done my ritual of going through each of the chakras, just to, or actually the, yeah, that way, just to see where I am in the moment, and taking some breaths, putting my face cream on, actually, making sure that no matter what the chaos is, that after I do a shower, the thing that brings me joy is just that little bit of self-care, that little bit of massage, whatever it is. But it's those little tiny things, because sometimes amidst everything, whether it's illness or uh, family rushing around or something else. I mean, right now there seem to be just a lot of things going on in the world and in our lives, especially after the holidays. People are sort of exhaling, whatever holiday you might have been or not been celebrating, the energy that was in the air. And then there's this sort of, exhale into winter, at least in the northern hemisphere, or summer if you're in the southern hemisphere. Um, and it's strong. It's sort of this anticlimax, but it's also this internal time, after the holidays. And I know that even in, down under, or further away places where in the southern hemisphere, it's still like post holidays. And there's that feeling of, can you give yourself permission to pause, or to take things simpler, to do less? I actually love that you're doing less. You have to. Your body's saying you don't have a choice, right? So yeah, that's an important piece. And it's funny, you can't really see it. There's this little thing in the background here. Um, there, yeah, it's a my daughter calls it an alicorn. It's a Pegasus unicorn, and I was thinking about that today because uh, it never used to stand up strong. It looked beautiful, everything looked great, but it didn't. It always fell over, and then it broke. And then it broke again. And so all the legs are now officially broken. And I thought, oh, that's so sad. But you know what? It actually stands stronger than it ever has before. And it made me reflect on, this path through midlife pregnancy, midlife fertility, like on the way, and how many like broken moments, whether it's just life or on that actual fertility path, and the missed moments, or the things you thought were going to happen then didn't. And it's cliche to say everything makes us stronger, yet there is something there, because there becomes a deeper learning of what you actually need. Because in those moments where you have to rely on other people, or you have to look for guidance outside yourself, and you realize often that you have to listen here first. Even as a doctor, there's a mixture of the knowledge, and the body knowledge, and the inner knowledge, right? Um, yeah, I'm just thinking about that a lot today, and wondering uh, how you, in the moments, let it go. And one of the things, I'm going to sit back for just a moment. I don't know if you've done it before. I'm sure there's an official term for it. I call it brushing. We used to do it with kids, but I think we also need it sometimes. Is that when you can't get to prayer, or you can't go for that walk, or whatever it is, and you can't do your usual things, there's also like the simple thing of sort of brushing away, and which is also self-soothing at the same time, which is where if things kind of build up, or you start to get in your head, or just whatever it is that just feels like your body is not, or your energy is a little bit low, is just the simple, brushing your whole body. Yeah, if you guys would do that with me that are here or on the replay, just take a moment and you brush, and you're brushing away that which you don't need. And at the same time, you're giving yourself energy going down the body, brushing your arms, the back of your arms, just all down your whole body. It's such a strong thing. We do it to soothe kids, but it's as a teacher, as a nanny in the old days, it's going through your whole body, which of course now you can't see my whole body, but I'm going down, and it feels good. It's not necessarily massage, but it's saying to my body, hello, I know you're there. I hear you present. I'm going all the way down. It's coming into the moment with whatever is happening in the world, and it's surprisingly can be relaxing. And if you do it, you can even do it more than once. But even now, I feel my skin a little bit different. I woke up in the night because my cat was tearing around the house. I got worried that there was an earthquake coming because I checked everything. There's water, there's food. What's going on? I still don't know what that is. But I woke up and I thought, oh, I want to be fresh today. So that even just doing that little bit, that brings some energy back. Small thing that can be done. And I'm as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking too. I know that we had a kind of a wonky intentions at the end of last week because of my internet connection, but I'm wondering if you had any intentions, that kind of what you're leaving behind, but also what you're bringing forward that's been working from last year into 2022, and what you hope to add to that you feel has been missing, as far as what brings you pleasure, joy, like really lights you up, but somehow you haven't gotten to. Is there anything there for you? You're welcome to put in comments, or I'm gonna uh, mute Angela for a second if you want to share.
Mm. Well, there was a lot that happened in 2021.
Yeah.
I got to go that retreat that I told you about. I haven't even actually talked to you in detail about it yet, but I experienced a lot of just deliverance. Just letting go of a lot of heaviness, and I feel like I've left a lot of the heaviness that I've had carried for a long time in 2021. And there was this simmering just underneath everything, simmering like sorrow a bit. Yeah. Even though most days I would say I was okay, but underneath everything there was that, and so I let go of that through going through that retreat, and then your retreat, and so I felt lighter coming into this year. And so my intention is to just keep on with that and not go back to picking up that load anymore. So whenever I have these thoughts that are trying to come in again, I remind myself that I've let go of like a heavy burden. And that was like the main thing that I took from the retreats. Yeah. And so that's
Can I just pause you for a quick second, because I want to, in silence here, I realize, hold on. I would right now. Angela is talking about her experience, which I'm going to share with you. I would love to take a piece of paper right now and be writing your own intentions of what you wanted to leave behind and bring into 2022, and what you want to bring in as far as joy and pleasure and light, what lights you up. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that while I get feedback here, and then we'll come back. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, just saying that I let go of heaviness,
Yeah.
and I took on peace and joy, and I need to keep reminding myself anytime I have any intruding thoughts or feelings that I have to remind myself that I've let go of the heavy burden. I've taken on joy and peace and expectation, hope, good things to come, and keep with that. Because the heavy burden and the just the heaviness and the sorrow kind of blocks me. I've seen that just blocks me from receiving, the blessing that I want. Even though I said I want this thing, but I'm holding on to negative feelings that are blocking me from, having another child. So I had to let go. Just let go. And so there's more lightness. I feel more light. I feel lighter. I feel more at peace. Even though we all went through the illness, I still felt. And I can say that I haven't had, I used to have a lot of resentment towards different people and different things. And that has just, poof, it just didn't evaporate, but just going through that program helped to really let go of resentment.
Oh, that's strong.
So, yeah, I have to talk to you more about the details of it. I just have to
you have to process it and kind of
process everything. Yeah, because it was just a lot for a weekend.
Yeah, I think when you have something like that that's so compacted, like it takes a while to unpack it. Like let it really marinate and get in there. And thank you for sharing that. May I share pieces of that? Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you. It's kind of awkward. I couldn't get the integration to work perfectly, so it's a little awkward today, but thank you for your patience. So Angela was talking about her experience of, letting go of a lot of the heaviness and the sort of the burden on her shoulders. Is that correct? And she went through, our exhale retreat, and also she went through another retreat that really, was intense, compacted into a weekend, but really worked a lot with the stuff that came up, which one of the things that came up, which is really strong on the midlife pregnancy and fertility path, is resentment and old stuff that stands in the way of really accepting, and your body accepting that pregnancy. It's amazing that the things that we feel so under the surface driven to hold on to, like it's sort of an innate thing of holding on to, and I gotta not necessarily working it through. Sometimes we think we have, and then it's still hanging around. And they really, those old emotions, it's not the experiences. You can't get rid of the experiences, right? That's part of who you are, part of your history. It's valuable, it's important. Yet those things that we say we're going to deal with later, or, we think we've managed, but they're still sort of hanging on, or you feel the emotions around certain people or things. It's like when you have toxic people around you, for example, and you sort of put up a wall to keep yourself safe, but unfortunately that wall blocks out the light as well as the darkness, right? And it's your heart and your body are not as receptive, and so it's one of those things, and it's one of those things on the joyful path of fertility that's not necessarily fun, yet so necessary, is looking at those dark corners and honoring them, as we were talking earlier, but finding your way through rather than around. It's that I think I've told the story before about the story of the white buffalo that the Native Americans talk about. There was a man who came from Canada, actually, into Czech Republic, telling the story of the white buffalo. I have since never seen it anywhere else, but I'm sure there's versions of it, which was just about, a herd of buffalo, and they basically used up all their grass. There was no grass anymore, and they saw grass in the distance, but there was this massive storm coming at them, and they were all just freaking out. They tried to go around it, you know, everything but through the storm. And the white buffalo, realized, I just have to go through. And I feel like that's very, very symbolic of emotions and these experiences that we say are bad or negative, or, we label with so many things, but really it's just that primal mind of ours that's saying, that's not safe, that's uncomfortable, I don't want to go there, and keeping us safe. Thank you, mind, for the things that you do. And that buffalo went through the storm, and there's just the snow and the ice, and it's uncomfortable, and he can't breathe, and he's going through, and he think he can't get through it. And it's just at that moment that it thinks it can't anymore is the moment it comes out through the other side. And I feel like that's so often how it is. When you really dive into something, or when you challenge yourself with doing something different, with fitness, with emotions, with whatever it might be, when you push up against your comfort zone, it's just at that moment. And it's also just at that moment, by the way, with fertility, where you feel like, oh, I've let go. I'm surrendering. I'm cool with whatever happens, but there's still something hanging. You're kind of like not through it. There's still something, like you were talking about, the resentment, or some jealousy. There can be so many different things that come up, and they're human things. We need those things to learn and grow, but it's the ego that's kind of fighting with the heart and the spirit, and the ego often wins. The ego is all connected to scarcity and uh and a lot of the things that cause us pain, but it's also part of recognizing who we are and what we need, and a powerful part of the process. And I know that from that, it's that moment where you've been very detailed, like predicting and controlling how you're going to manage everything on your fertility process. It can even be semi fun at first, but after a while, like there's certain details, like taking your temperature, or are you ovulating, are you this, whatever the details of your particular process might be. After a while, when things aren't happening, it does stop being fun, if it was ever kind of a novelty. And then it's that moment where you let go. It's inevitably that moment where you have taken I'll forget it, I'm going to have a glass of wine, or forget it, I'm just going to have that raw egg on my whatever. Like it's that time when you just let go. And it's, if you think about letting go, that's not the moment. It's when you actually, something shifts, and it has to happen on such a deep level. And that's why it's all these things sometimes I'm talking about on the video, or we talk about in a session, that seem like they aren't connected, but it's all those little things on the way that kind of lead to the letting go, which is why you know um, I speak about creativity as being such an important piece. Hey, nice to see Motola. I don't know who that is, but nice to see you in there. It's now, I haven't been talking about it much, and it's funny. It's like that thing in the room that I know is so important, but we haven't gotten there. And part of that is, I don't know, it's part of my own process, but it's that, doing creativity, Yana and I had talked about that. She's going to be on the podcast, because we're going to start doing the podcast first. The first Wednesday of the month is always midlife, fertility, and pregnancy, but I'm going to start bringing in stories, the stories we had talked about on the exhale, of reminding us of what is possible, and success stories. And one of the things we talked about, it was also this she's like, I didn't understand why we were talking about my business and what I was doing and creating, and then I was pregnant. So that's a shortened version. It was quite long, because of all these other things on the way. You have to be creating whatever that means to you, whether it's your business, or sharing, you're sharing your experiences that are important for people who have, issues. And you also have this background of medicine. I think it's those things that kind of light you up that also are creating that that softness, that receptiveness, that soft landing place for the baby to come. And yet it's not as quick and easy as we'd like it to be. We'd like to snap and be like, that's it. But there are those things on the way that need to happen for you to be ready. Your body might be ready. It might be actually, or almost ready once you're more well. It might be ready in many ways, but your heart and your spirit that have gone through so much by midlife, there's so much that's happened. It's not, that is the difference. Many people can have fertility issues, and maybe some people who are younger than 35, 45, 55, maybe they have had some powerful experiences that might be similar and this fits them. However, the thing about being midlife is you are moving so much. You have experienced so much. You may have had family, like in your case. You may have, let go of dreams of the past, and that letting go, but not in a no, that doesn't fit me anymore, but just, oh, what's the point? There's all those little tiny things, they build up over time and they affect your deep belief. We just passed the holidays here in the States anyway, and in some corners and cultures. And there were so many movies about being a true believer. And I kept thinking like that's part of it. Is there's a flicker of those of us who still believe in miracles and magic and so many wonderful things. And yet, at this point in life, when you've experienced so much, there are things that layer on top, and it's different. It is different. And so, finding a way to peel back the layers, whether it's petting every puppy that goes by when you're on a walk, or just breathing the trees when you're out in nature, or stepping back away from your digital phone world to allow yourself to just be, not be responding, not be reacting, but just be and see what's there. Okay, thank you for this. Oh, Coco, hi, nice to see you on YouTube. So I would like to take a moment. I want to actually pick a card quickly, and then I wanted to. I have so many cards, but I haven't been using them much lately. That's one of the things that I'm not deep woo woo, but I've always been at the edge of just exploring the different things that are around, and especially if they're cards with beautiful art. And these cards are animal spirit cards. They're really beautiful artwork. That's for me generally important if the artwork feels right. And I was shuffling these cards and thinking about you and your journey, and was curious what was going to pop up. So this one has popped up. What is this? This is, I will put a picture somewhere. I don't know if you can see here. And it's birds that you see. There's owl, and there's an egret and swan. And it the main point of it, the symbology is about soul, divinity, liberation, creativity, and rebirth. It feels very on spot. And I just wanted to pick it just to do something a little bit different today, and to remind us, of those little things that spark. But I would also like to take a few moments to go into a visualization with you. I did one in the evening, which will be different from today because today is a new day. So if you can get comfortable wherever you are, I'd like to just take things a little bit deeper. You go as deep as you want to. This is your own personal experience. The things that you wrote down earlier regarding your intentions, they're for you. So you're welcome to share anything that you want to in the comments on either side. And I'll just double check because I know that I haven't been checking Zoom. I can't do it all. Oh, thank you, Motola. Thank you for your continuing this effort. Yes, I do my best to show up for you guys in a free way when possible, and I will be creating some other things this year, but it's important. So find a place to get your feet on the ground, or I like to be in a cross-legged position. I don't know. It feels like a firm base for me. Depends on where you are. And if there's anyone around, remind them that this is your time. And maybe take your shoulders and bring them up to your ears, just to sort of release your neck and relax your shoulders, allow them to come down a little bit lower. If you feel comfortable to close your eyes and you're not driving, you're welcome to. And just for a moment before we go further, uh, feel the top of your head where that was soft when you were a baby and allow that to relax and connect with God, universe, self, source, what you believe in. And then feel your face relax a little bit. If you need to massage your jaw a little bit, if you've been clenching your jaw or you've been running around, just sort of gently massage it right in front of your ears and wherever you're being called to move your hands. And then relax your hands when you're ready to your lap, and then go down your neck, your shoulders, down your arms. Allow them to just let gravity bring them, connect them to the earth. Regardless of what floor you're on, there is that energetic connection to earth. Feel your heart. Put your hand on your heart, your chest. Feel the warmth of your own hand, the energy of your hand, your connection to self, to spirit. And then with your awareness, just relaxing your belly and your hips, your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, your feet, and feel whatever it is that's connecting with your base, your feet or your sit bones. Just feel them connecting with the surface beneath you. Remembering that you are always connected to earth and source, whatever that place is for you. And now let's take a deep breath in and exhale. And then take another deep breath in and take it just a little bit further than is comfortable. And then exhale again, making sure to relax your belly and do one last breath in and out at your own pace. Just getting us into the room, the energetic space together, and reminding your body that you are present, you are listening. And now I ask you to be in this moment where you are. Listen to the sounds around you, the feeling on your body, if there's a draft or it's warm. Do you hear heater, traffic? Just let it all be a part of where you are. Let it, if it's distracting, just let it gently move off to the side. And the same goes for thoughts and to-do lists that float in. That's natural, that's part of it. And just gently sweep them. I always imagine a little gentle, natural broom, sort of gently sweeping the things that are trying to get my attention, just sweeping to the side and having a little clearing just for you, your space right now, and that you'll get back to those things. And as they come, you keep doing the same, honoring them, but asking them to pause while you take this time for you and your body. And we've talked about honoring the past and being present in the moment. And right now, as you sit here and you feel and you notice the aches in the body, or you notice the places that are more energized, and you maybe rock a little bit to find that comfort in your sitting place in your spine. Remember also that your body holds many memories in the tissues. and just to say thank you. Deep gratitude for your body who holds so much inside of it. And if you want to now, you can put your other hand on your belly, the second chakra, the place where emotions reside, or just consider what emotions have been whirling around you or inside of you in the last weeks. And just come into that space of gratitude of saying thank you in the darkness and the light, the joy and the sorrow. But just saying thank you for that experience of being alive and feeling the waves that go up and down and deeper and lighter, and all those moments, those versions of you, the ones that go deep in prayer and meditation and looking within and listening, and the ones that want to have laughter and go to a movie. They're all part of this journey, important part of your journey with your body. And I want for a moment for you to think of a moment where maybe you and your body were in conflict. Maybe there's been some dis-ease or some something that you for moments or still wish were different. And say thank you. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the learning. Thank you for the journey of understanding self, of the systems around, of understanding what you need when you are healing, working with your body. The moments when you look outside yourself, and the moments when you need to listen within to what your answer is for your healing, for your strength, for your path. Because you have so much wisdom within you, and your body knows not just the pain, but the joy. And it has so much to teach you, and it does get your attention when it needs it. And say thank you for that. And now, for a moment, inside your mind's eye and your heart, wherever you speak with yourself, your body, I would love for you to have a small conversation with your body about what's been happening lately and what you as partners would like to do going forward. Imagining your best relationship, the emotions you want to feel together, the experiences you'd like to do together, related and unrelated to this fertility path and your future pregnancy. It's all interconnected. That reminder to your body, of the experiences that you're going to have again and what you're open to, what you're excited about, and listening to what it needs. You often get caught up in what you need, what I need, but what does your body really want? Sometimes there are plans and ideas, and then you find yourself not doing those things, not taking that action. And then often you can be very hard on yourself about not doing it. But there's a reason. And often it's your body literally physically stopping you, saying, no, that's not it. And how do you come back into conversation with it? And it doesn't have to answer now. Maybe it's just asking for the signs and the information, and maybe even asking how it's going to speak with you, how you can listen better, or what you've been doing right. as you would have that conversation with a child or a friend or parent or partner. In fact, I encourage this conversation with the people whose energy affects you in both light and darker ways in the right moment through your writing, through a moment like this, or face to face if it feels right. And it is one of those things which also heals from the body out. And now take a deep breath and exhale with your body and saying thank you for this exchange. And knowing that perhaps in the next hours, days, even weeks, more information will come, which will help you to build stronger and stronger each day this relationship, this healing, this strength, this incredible experience that you are moving deeper into and through, like the storm, to that sunny, grassy place where pregnancy, healthy baby, and full experience are waiting. And gently, if you have your hands on heart and belly, release them when you're ready. Find a comfortable position and gently open your eyes. And if you have a piece of paper or something you can write on, to take a moment if there's anything that came through to write it down. And if not, that's okay too. Just giving it a moment before launching into the next conversation, jumping out of this call or into the next to do for the day. This relationship with self and body is powerful and strong and important. We give the mind a lot of power, but this is one of the most powerful pieces of your being is your body and that relationship. So I'll give you a few moments of silence. Nice to see you, Ya, and purple Cyrillic person. Hmm. I'll give you a few more moments, and then you can always continue when we finish. How did that go? Yeah.
Oh, I just wrote here, I'm just gonna continue to love who I am and take time, actually create time to do loving things for myself. I do a lot for a lot of people, everybody else, but I have never time out of the day to do something loving
Mm.
and tender for myself. So that's what
It's strong.
came to.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that you're recognizing that, uh, I'm curious to hear what you do. If you want to share that in the future, anything would be great.
Yes,
Uh, is it all right to share a little bit that, or would you like to keep that for yourself?
yes,
Yeah. So,
you can share.
yeah. So Angela was just sharing that when she was writing, what came through was, how much she's, and I might not say this perfectly, but how much she's giving, to others throughout the day, taking care of things for other people. And that, she, how did you put it? That you want, that you have to carve out space for loving and yourself,
Yes.
for doing for yourself. And
Mhm.
that one comes up so much, whether you have a family already or you don't. I know that if you're showing up here, there's a very good chance that you are also one of those people. I know that was an issue also for me, was this constantly taking care of everyone else and thinking, and it's funny because obviously you know how to love and care for people so beautifully. And how is it that, it's, heal or heal thyself, right? It's just like the most obvious thing that's sitting there, but it's the one that kind of gets, thrown to the bottom of the to-do list. And, uh, there have been moments where I literally have set an alarm while doing things. These days, especially, I only have, 3 hours sometimes to get things done before, going back into family action. And, where I literally would set an alarm that, okay, this is going to be for doing things in the house. This is going to be doing things or connecting with other people. This is going to be doing things for the business, and making sure it's not the last thing, but slotting in there. And this is going to be for doing things that matter. Last night's retreat, when I was doing the visualization, the meditation was about, bringing things in. And what were the things that popped up for me was uh, writing and uh, being on a walk without having to manage anything or reading a book, which I don't even do because it feels like a softer space. Creating, I haven't painted in forever. I'm not really a painter. It's just it's like a more of a medium for emotions and presence and whatever. And just figuring all that out, which often ripples out to other to-dos in order to get to certain things. So being careful not to create another project for yourself. You know, uh, in our case, it's where to put the easel when it's not sunny outside. Um, so thank you for sharing, by the way, because I think that's such an important thing, is that the specifics of the things that come up, because sometimes it's that validation or it's that acknowledgement of, oh, someone's going to hear this on the replay or right now and think, oh yeah, that's important. And I think that's actually one of the pieces why, over the years, being from California especially, we've pretty much all been in therapy. And therapy one-on-one was always strong, and it's good, and things can come up. And I always love gathering people when we be in a group situation, even though you had to kind of really move past your ego in many ways to kind of share. But when you get that trust space going, the sharing, that, because sometimes you can't get there, there's something, you're feeling something, but the words aren't coming. And so someone else shares like you did, and it comes through. So thank you very much. And we're coming towards the end of our time now. Uh, I wanted to just end with this kind of bizarre looking crystal. It's actually, I can't remember the name of it because it's actually called the grandmother crystal. It's funny because if I look at it like this, it almost looks like a sperm, but which could be helpful too. But I love it's a it's called the grandmother crystal, even though, like I said, I'm kind of at the edge of the woo woo, but I have all these things, especially being in Czech Republic. This one came from Czech Republic. I love that it's a spiral and it's spiraling up, and it's about, which, the spiraling up is about the energy and the connection, the light, but it also is the grand healer. This one can heal all stones. It can heal all, like cleanse other stones. It cleanses us. And I think I'm thinking about, like, what is the thing for you? I would leave you with this thought. is whatever has come up today as we're talking, as we were going within, what is it that really truly, no matter what's happening in the day, is the grand healer, like this stone that can go across all the other minerals and things, that it heals you, it heals the other, it just, no matter what, it can work. What is that thing for you? And making sure that you include that in your week. If it's prayer, if it's meditation, if it's as simple as just walking under the trees, that thing, or the petting of the puppies is the thing for me. Even though we don't have that many puppies, we have a couple around here, where I know that no matter what space I'm in, whether I'm got lots of energy or I'm feeling ill or whatever that is, to have a handful of those things in your pocket, to have as a go-to, to make sure that each day, no matter what is happening, that you remind your body, your spirit, your soul, yourself, that there's goodness and joy, and that your body can vibrate in that way. Whether it's putting on a comedian on Netflix that always makes you laugh and brings you to a good place, or it's seeing the picture of a grand relative or somebody who just has a light within them. Whatever that is having a few of those things available to you, that each day you remind, because I think that the more you're reminding your body and your spirit and your mind, that's the tricky one, you know, of of that vibration, of that light, of that opening, that receptivity, that joy. That's, as you build more and more time, it's you create more and more of that each day, which is, like we were talking about, the creativity, like being in your purpose, doing things where you feel that uh, there's a flow going. The more that is coming in each day, maybe it's only a minute one day, and maybe it's 20 minutes, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's a couple of hours, where you actually find yourself belly laughing, or you're helping others with your videos and someone responds and you light up and you realize that this made a difference in someone's life, something shifted, whatever it is that kind of gets your your zhing, your energy flowing. The more of that that's coming in, the higher your chances are of pregnancy. Honestly, more than what you're eating. Yes, those things are important. The vitamins are important, the anti-stress, but this is part of the anti-stress, because those cortisol levels go down and you're just in this beautiful space. So I encourage you to come into those things, as well as coming into your dark spaces when needed. And if you haven't done it for a while, every once in a while, just coming in and checking in with yourself, your spirit, you know, what is asking for some attention, or to move through a bit. You can't do it all at once. A lifetime of experiences is not going to be sorted in one sitting ever, but you definitely can have ahas and clarity, and keep that energy flowing, because you deserve to have this incredible journey, joyous pregnancy and birth. And I'm going to keep reminding you, and you're reminding each other with all these incredible moments and sharing. And I just want to say thank you for being here. That's the whole reason we're here today. And if there are any last questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
You're welcome. Okay, well, I'm going to give it a couple seconds, and otherwise, I'm just going to say have a beautifully imperfect week. I will be putting out more videos this week. If you are new, definitely subscribe. If not, then thank you for being here in this incredible circle, for making the energy what it is, because it's you. It's you. The reason I'm here is you. The reason that any of this is happening is because of you and your braveness, and you're willing to show up for yourself and others, and keeping it in balance, right? And that's it. All right. Just a question? Sure. Yeah, you can ask a question here on YouTube. Go for it. I don't know if there's always a little delay on YouTube, so I will get that. And then I'm going to jump into my own coaching session. I'm coming a bit late too. Okay. Can we use a hot pot in our tummy after massage? What is a hot pot? I'm not sure what a hot pot is. Hot pot in our tummy. Is that like a hot water bottle after massage? Is that are you pregnant? Or are you not pregnant? I mean, if you, I'll just answer it like this. If a hot pot is okay, massage a clay pot. I'm not familiar with that. I can say this: if you are pre-pregnancy, then the belly work is incredible. It's so powerful. There've been releases. I've had shiatsu with and all and heat as well, and ginger and what is that thing called? Not smudging. There's the thing that they do with acupuncture that's super hot in the belly area. I didn't even know I had some. What do you call it? A clot, not a clot. There was something and released in my body I didn't even know was there. That was actually pre-pregnancy as well. It's um, doing belly work is so important with the emotions, the yeah, there's just a lot going on there. Clay pot, trying to get pregnant, something hot after the massage to put on. I mean, look, I think all massage in general, if you find the right person that aligns with you and the right technique, it's definitely, I would include it in your support system. And heat, I think, is it is very, very healing. Of course, it's about you. It's about your body and your what's going on with your body in that moment too. I can't say for sure. That's something you have to check in with yourself about, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Again, it's about your heat tolerance. It's about your experience of the past. It can be very emotional. It's is the hara, this energetic space in your body. Just be aware that when you do massage in this area, that like we said before, can release a lot of old stuff that gets stored up in there. That's why a lot of people have bellies is protection. And so when you kind of do some work in there, whether it's with heat or other, just be aware that there can be want to have a safe space after, I guess is what I want to say, that you have support, you have a partner, you have a quiet place to go. You might even want 24 hours, 48 hours, because things can ripple out afterwards as far as emotions and even physically. And so just you can do it on a Friday night if you have weekends off or whatever, whenever your times off are. I would really encourage that, to allow yourself the space to unfold, to cry if that comes, or to be elated, whatever it is, direction things go is it's very individual. You're welcome. I'm gonna jump out now, and I just want to say a big thank you for showing up both on Zoom and here in YouTube. I'll figure out the integration thing eventually, but I wanted to offer that, and I always love to see your faces up there. So thank you. Uh, and just keep going, keep asking questions of yourself, of me, whoever is you have access to. And we're going to see how things unfold this year. But uh, just don't give up and don't give your power away to any one or several individuals. Always be in partnership with whoever you're working with, taking their information in and filtering it through your own self, because you've been with that body for a really long time. I'm going to let you go. Somehow we ended up in a little bit longer session, but that's great. It unfolded as it was meant to. I appreciate you too, Ya and Angela, and everyone who's shown up here. Have a beautifully imperfect day again, and I will see you soon. Bye.